Sara Miller had lived a place where hiking trails curved around waterfalls, and the forest smelled of pine and fresh earth after rain. Every weekend, her friends from the neighborhood planned treks, sometimes to Looking Glass Rock, other times to the Craggy Gardens Trail. They would often return with photos of sunlit ridges, wildflowers, and faces glowing with joy. Sara always smiled when she saw the pictures, but deep down she felt a pang. She wanted to be there too, breathing in the mountain air, laughing with friends, and living a day without the endless checklist of chores. But reality held her back. At home she was the anchor. Every morning at 6 a.m. she woke before sunrise, brewed the first pot of coffee, packed lunches for her 2 kids, Emily, age 12, and Ryan, 9, and set out their clothes before rushing to prepare breakfast. After her husband, David, left for work to the office, Sara would move through the day like clockwork. Laundry, dishes, groceries, cleaning, bills, homework supervision, dinner prep, bedtime stories. It wasn't that she disliked caring for her family, she loved them deeply. But sometimes the weight of her responsibilities pressed down like a heavy backpack she couldn't put down. And every time her friends invited her for a trek, she'd decline with the same excuse. I can't leave the house like that. Who'll take care of everything? But inside she longed for freedom, even just a single day, to forget time, chores, and timetables. One Friday evening, as Sara folded laundry in the living room, she overheard her phone buzz. A message popped up from her best friend, Megan. We're going to trek up Chimney Rock on Sunday. Come with us, Sara. It's going to be amazing. Just one day. Please say yes this time. Sara sighed, staring at the pile of folded shirts. Chimney Rock was one of her favorite spots. She had been there once years ago, before the kids were born. She could almost feel the breeze at the top, see the panoramic views stretching across miles of rolling green. Her heart whispered yes, but her mind argued no. That night, as David helped clear the dinner table, Sara hesitated and finally spoke. David, the girls are going hiking on Sunday. They've been asking me to join for months. But well, you know how it is. The kids, the meals, the laundry. I can't just leave all that behind. David paused, setting down a plate. He looked at her carefully. Sara, do you want to go? She looked down at her hands. I do. More than anything. Just one day without schedules, without cooking and cleaning. Just laughter and fresh air. Then go, David said firmly. Sara blinked. But the kids? We'll manage, he interrupted. Emily's old enough to help. Ryan can pitch in. And I can handle lunch for one day. You deserve this, Sara. You've been taking care of us without complaint every single day. Let us take care of things while you do something for yourself. Sara felt her throat tighten. His words were simple, but they carried a weight of love she hadn't expected. Sunday morning, Sara woke before dawn, but this time not to start chores. She laced up her hiking boots, tucked a water bottle and some trail mix into her backpack, and slipped out the door with a heart beating fast from excitement. The drive to Chimney Rock was filled with chatter and laughter from her friends. When they reached the trailhead, the air was cool, the sky painted with hues of pink and gold. For the first time in years, Sara felt like she had stepped out of her role as the dependable mother and wife, and simply existed as Sara, the woman who loved adventure, who loved to laugh without worrying about the next task on her list. The hike was steep, but every step filled her with energy. She breathed in the scent of wildflowers, touched the rough bark of towering oaks, and laughed at Megan's silly jokes. When they finally reached the top, the view was breathtaking. Miles of forest stretched below. A river gleamed in the distance, and the sky was an endless expanse of blue. Standing there, wind in her hair, Sara closed her eyes and whispered to herself, "This is what it feels like to live for me." Meanwhile, at home, David and the kids were discovering just how much Sara did every day. By 9 a.m., the kitchen was a mess from breakfast. Emily tried to load the dishwasher but forgot the soap. Ryan spilled orange juice on the floor and clumsily wiped it with a paper towel, leaving it sticky. Laundry overflowed in the basket, and David realized he had no idea which cycle Sara usually used. "Mom does this every day?" Ryan asked wide-eyed. "Yes," David admitted, trying to fold a t-shirt that looked more like a crumpled ball. "And she never complains." The kids grew quiet. For the first time, they saw their mom's work not as invisible background magic, but as endless effort that kept their home running smoothly. By afternoon, they had gotten into a rhythm. Emily helped sweep. Ryan took out the trash. And David managed to cook spaghetti and garlic bread without burning it. When Sara walked back into the house that evening, her cheeks sun-kissed, her legs tired but her spirit alive, she was greeted with a surprise. The table was set, the kitchen was clean. And the kids ran to hug her. "How was it, Mom?" Emily asked eagerly. "It was beautiful," Sara said, her eyes shining. "I feel lighter." Ryan tugged her hand. "We realized today how much you do. It's like a million chores." David laughed and added, "We're not going to let you carry it all alone anymore. From now on, we'll pitch in. And by the way, the kids think you should plan your next trek soon." Sara felt her chest warm with love. For years, she had believed she needed to sacrifice her hobbies for her family's happiness. But in that moment, she realized something powerful. Only when she cared for her own joy could she truly bring joy to others. Over the following weeks, the household shifted. Emily took over setting the table and folding laundry. Ryan was in charge of feeding the dog and taking out the trash. And David began cooking Sunday dinners. Sara still managed the home with her usual love, but she also carved out time for herself. She started joining her friends for monthly treks, took a yoga class on Wednesdays, and even began sketching landscapes again, a hobby she had abandoned years ago. The family noticed the change. Sara was calmer, more cheerful, and her laughter filled the house like music. And in turn, the kids learned responsibility and teamwork. One evening, as the family sat on the porch watching fireflies, David said softly, You've always taken care of us, Sara. Now we'll make sure you never forget to take care of yourself too. Sara leaned back, her heart full. She knew the road ahead would still be busy. Chores and responsibilities would never disappear. But now she had balance. And with balance came joy, strength, and the freedom to be both a devoted mother and a woman who chased her own dreams. For Sara, happiness was no longer just about keeping her family together. It was about walking her own path, sometimes on mountain trails, sometimes through the mess of daily life, but always with laughter, love, and the knowledge that she mattered too. The end.